Devotees cannot, an essential subject from Vinaypedia. The Lord has supreme consciousness, however one should not claim that the Jiva, the living entity, is also supremely conscious. The living being cannot be supremely conscious at any stage of his perfection, and the theory that he can be so is a misleading theory. As conscious as he may be, he is not perfectly or supremely conscious. The Lord is so kind that even if a devotee of the Lord cannot fulfill the complete course of devotional service unalloyed and uncontaminated by material association, he is given another chance in the next life by being awarded a birth in the family of a devotee or rich man, so that without being engaged in the struggle for material existence, the devotee can finish the remaining purification of his existence and thus immediately, after relinquishing the present body, go back home, back to Godhead. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinay's Devotees Cannot category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 12 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. It is said that anyone who has implicit faith in the service of the Lord, or who actually engages in transcendental loving service, has all the good qualities of the demigods. Therefore, a devotee cannot be at fault. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.6. 25. It would have been impossible for inhabitants of Vaikuha to come back to this material world simply because of a Brahminical curse. The Lord especially blesses the so-called culprits. All glories unto you. A devotee, once accepted by the Lord, can never fall down. That is the conclusion of this incident. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.6. 29. Wherever there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and his devotee Arjuna, Tirtha, there is victory, opulence, extraordinary power and morality. The opulences of a devotee are not a result of karmikaya vigraha. A devotee is always protected by all of the Supreme Lord's opulences, of which no one can deprive him. Thus a devotee cannot be defeated by any opponents. A devotee, therefore, should not deviate knowingly from the path of devotion. The adherent devotee is assured all protection from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 10.2. 33. Unless one is fully situated in unalloyed devotional service, there is no guarantee of liberation, even if one is elevated to the heavenly planets or to the impersonal Brahman effulgence. A devotee's achievement, however, is never lost by the influence of time. Even if a devotee cannot completely execute devotional service, in his next life he begins from the point where he left off. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.24. 56. It is said that anyone who has implicit faith in the service of the Lord, or who actually engages in transcendental loving service, has all the good qualities of the demigods. Therefore, a devotee cannot be at fault. If sometimes it is found that he is in error by accident or by some temporary arrangement, that should not be taken very seriously. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.16. 25. The Lord is so kind that even if a devotee of the Lord cannot fulfill the complete course of devotional service unalloyed and uncontaminated by material association, he is given another chance in the next life by being awarded a birth in the family of a devotee or rich man. Armad Bh Gavatam 2.7. 49. Some great devotees of the Lord cannot surpass the boundary of awe and veneration. But other devotees are in such an intense compact of love with the Lord that they forget his exalted position and regard themselves as his equals or even his superiors. These eternal associates of the Lord relate with him in the higher statuses of friendship, parenthood, and consorthood. Mukunda ML Statra, Text 2. The progress of culturing knowledge by the JNS or the bodily gymnastics by the yogas are ultimately given up by the respective performers, but a devotee of the Lord cannot give up the service of the Lord. Armad Bh Gavatam 2.8. 6. Devotees cannot be situated in the impersonal Brahman effulgence, into which impersonalists desire to merge. The devotees are placed in Vaikuhaloka or Krishnaloka. Kaitanya Karatam Ta, DLL 5.36. A pure devotee of the Lord cannot be separated from the lotus feet of the Lord for even a moment. Undoubtedly the Lord is always within the hearts of all living creatures, but they hardly know about it because they are deluded by the illusory material energy. The devotees, however, realize the presence of the Lord, and therefore they can always see the lotus feet of the Lord within their heart. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.13. 4. A pure devotee of the Lord constantly sees the presence of the Lord within himself because of being transcendentally related by loving service. Such a pure devotee cannot forget the Lord for a moment. This is called trance. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.9. 39. In the Dinakali Komad it is stated, when love develops in the heart of a devotee, he cannot check the transformation of his sentiments. His heart is just like the ocean at the rising of the moon, when the ebb tide cannot be checked. Immediately there must be movement of high waves. Although in its natural state the ocean is always grave and unfathomable, when the moon rises, nothing can check the ocean's agitation. Similarly, those who are pure devotees cannot on any account check the movement of their feelings within. Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 31.